I've probably gone through over 1 million thoughts in a week, just from the highest of highs to the lowest of lows. And it's unbelievable how deep and how the depths of our mind, and I can never hope to understand it, I don't think. And if you're trying to understand it, I don't think we're supposed to. I don't think we ever will. Welcome back to your Joyage. I'm Cage, your guide. I'll be replacing the little voice inside your head for now, giving you a break from the constant internal monologue that is the human mind. I want to say first, thank you for listening or viewing on whatever platform you're on. If you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button, drop a like on this video so other people can find the Voyage. It's hot. I don't know if you can tell. It's warm. It's hot. I'm on the top of a mountain right now, and the sun is just beating down on my back right now. Like, I can feel the burn coming now. Also, there's bees flying around everywhere, so if I stop in the middle and freak out, it's because of that. I want to clue you guys in a little bit on how I'm feeling as of recent. Not so great. I know a few weeks ago when I was like thinking about this whole thing and almost like fantasizing about it, getting excited about it. The big thing I was excited about was when I would be hanging out, doing nothing, but I was in my room watching people be like in the mountains and stuff, and I thought that if I was out there in the mountains, nothing would have to change and I would just be like fixed and I would feel better and stuff. But now I'm like out here in the mountains and like nothing really has changed at all, in the sense of like I don't feel any more content really. I still feel like I'm not like doing well enough or something, or I have all this like built up pressure inside to like win, I guess the word would be, even though there's nothing here to win. Or I don't quite understand why I'm feeling this way. And I'll go through little phases of feeling really good and feeling like grateful and like truly in the moment happy, but I won't know this for another week until I'm out there in the place that I want to be. But I'm a little worried that this travel thing isn't exactly gonna do what I hoped it would, and I don't know if it's because I've just lost some momentum, because it's like I started a race with one leg, basically. It feels like, since I started this race to go, but I can't actually go because I have to come back in a week. And so I'm like sort of just hanging out, between home base and first. I'm just kind of like sort of starting, but then coming back a little bit. I don't know. I think in the past I've just been so focused and fixated on making my life like a movie. And it's cool because I can edit it back and make it seem like a movie or feel like a movie, but in real life, in real time, it doesn't feel like that at all. It feels so lame, I guess. Like, it's not what I thought it would be. And I'm out here like on top of a mountain just hanging out, really, and it's like impossible for me to even enjoy that. Like, I'm sort of enjoying it, but I'm also sitting here like, what else? What else is there? And now I'm like out here like second guessing everything. Like, well, what even is this Joyage? Like, is the Joyage living in my car, or is it traveling, or like what is the Joyage exactly? And now I'm starting to like question everything, and I don't know. I don't know. I guess the Joyage really is just my whole life in general. Doing things because I want to do them and chasing those goals and stuff. I don't even know. And there's a lot of things that I've like preached in the past that I still know to be true. Things that are like ways to cope and high levels of like awareness practice, to where you're not constantly like thinking about the future and stuff. But while having that awareness is great, and I do have it in the back of my mind that I know that this is just a blip, in my whole life, just a tiny little blip. It doesn't really matter where I'm at right now, because in 10 years this will just be my past. But it doesn't make it that much easier as it's coming. Like, I still feel like crap right now. I still don't feel like I've accomplished the thing I set out to accomplish, which is to travel and go to all the places I want to go to, because I'm constantly barricaded by freaking land that I can't even go on. Like there's all these mountains and places I want to look at and go, but I can't because there's like people living there, or they own the mountains, so you have to pay to get in. Or it's like I'm sitting here like, why can't I just drive past and like walk on that mountain and just go? And I can't because like half these places are like bought out by someone, or there's services you have to buy to get there, or like you can't get there because you're like right there on the highway. And but also like I don't even know what I'm complaining about. Like I don't understand what's going on, and I go through just like big waves of happy, like content, like wise, it feels like, and then sometimes where I'm just so frustrated that I like can't get over that hump. It's like I'm chasing this never-ending wave that I'll never get over. And sometimes I'm like, oh, it doesn't matter, you'll need to cross that wave. The whole journey is just doing and chasing, like that's the whole thing. And it doesn't matter if you get over that wave. But the thing is, I want to get over that wave so bad that it doesn't even fucking matter what I'm doing. You know, like it's really, really hard for me to sometimes enjoy the things that I want to enjoy, which is just hanging out and enjoying nature and stuff. It's like that's something I want to enjoy and be able to be content just looking at it and being okay with that. But then I'm like not able to. Like I enjoy it for a little bit, and then I'm like, all right, what's the next thing I can conquer? And I wish I didn't think that way. I don't know if the answer to that is like go and find something to conquer, but then that's like a never-ending cycle that'll just repeat itself till the end of time, or you just stop. But the thing is, that's what I like. You know, like I like working toward things, but then it never ends up bringing me any fulfillment when I get there. So I'm kind of lost. I don't know what to do or think, or like I feel kind of lost because I'm like, what am I doing here right now? Like I'm just out here looking at mountains and stuff. That's great. Until what? Until I run out of money in a few months, and then what? I go back to work and do what? Like what? What are we doing here exactly? What am I supposed to be working toward again? And right now I'm just having all these kinds of thoughts, probably because I'm alone a lot right now. And that was kind of the point for a lot of this, is to have a lot of alone time to the point where I can't even get away if I tried. What I think needs to happen is when I get out to those BLM lands, I need to take like a week or something, like a bunch of days, and not film, not do photographs, don't have any contact with anyone, and just literally sit there until my thoughts run out and just see what the fuck happens. Because honestly, that is terrifying if I think about doing that, and I know I need to go through that. And I think everyone needs to go through that, where you're with yourself for so long that you run out of thoughts, and you really start to understand your mind a little bit and start to explore the inner workings of your mind and your personality. Or I just need to take 5 grams of mushrooms and sit curled up in a ball. I don't know, one of the two. One of the quotes of the day that I had that makes a lot of sense right now, because I need someone to say this to me, and no one's here, so I'm going to say it to myself. It's be kinder to yourself and be more patient to yourself, because we are so impatient and we are so unkind to ourselves. We push ourselves so much. We get so frustrated with ourselves for no real reason. We just get frustrated, and the only person to get frustrated when you're frustrated is at yourself, and that starts to like kill your self-esteem over time. And I'm lucky enough to have stumbled upon like the awareness of it, and so I want to like share that with other people and share that with myself, remind myself that like nothing in the forest blooms all year. You know, everything ebbs and flows. Everything has seasons of waves in and out, positive and negative, you know, momentum and just standstill. And that's okay. It doesn't make those standstill times any easier when you're one of those people that just needs to work and accomplish. And when you're in those times of like, I'm not really accomplishing anything, those are the times where you have to just have faith and just kind of keep going and just be like, you know what, it doesn't matter. You know, like, this is just what I do, and that's okay. And yeah, I'm just out here, and in a few months it'll come back around. I'll be on a good wave, then a bad wave, and as long as I know, like, zoom out perspective of like, that's how life works. It just goes like that. And to be okay and not judge yourself is just so hard in the moment when you're feeling that type of way about yourself, to not judge yourself. It's almost impossible. And I found myself struggling with that, like struggling more than I ever have. And this is the time where I thought I would be struggling less than I would have ever in the past. And I'm stressing more because I have all this pressure and hype up in my head as to what this trip is supposed to be. Like, I think in my head I was like, this is the start. This is where my launch pad is. You know, I'm gonna hit it big on YouTube, and I'm gonna hit all my goals, and you know, meet a beautiful girlfriend, and like my life's really gonna start. And that's what I thought of when I started this Joyage. I was like, this is it. This is it. I did it. I'm going. Like, this is the beginning, the end. No more speed humps. I'm just smooth sailing from here. And I just got hit with a wave of fucking reality that first night even. I literally almost ran out of gas, and I panicked. I was panicking hard because I was like, what am I going to do if I run out of gas here? Because no one has gas within 1,000 miles. So I just thought this Joyage was something else. I thought it was the end all be all for me, and that's just not the case. That's ridiculous to think that. I'm 20, almost 23. Like, the life has just fucking begun. And you know as well as I know how long 1 year is, meaning our lives are very, 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 very long, because I'm going to have probably 4 times over of what I've already had. And I've only been freaking conscious of it for like a few years, you know? So the fact that I have to live 3, 4, 5 even more of these full lifetimes where I'm figuring out myself more and more, it's so interesting, because I think about the fact that when I'm 50, like, I'll be alive at 50. Like, what will I be like when I'm 50? And these are things I think about all the time, because I think it's so interesting. Like, if you were to just know, like, hey, you're going to be alive. You're going to be alive in 25 years, meaning you will have figured out whatever you need to figure out now, because in 25 years, you're still here. What is that person like? What is that person's experiences? What is their outlook on life? Where are they at? Do they have family? Do they have goals still? Like, what is it going to be? And I'm so excited about that. So that's one thing that that thought exercise is positive and negative, I think, because I tend to live in the future a lot. And as I said before, I like to daydream. I daydream a lot. And I think that's because I have trouble sitting in the present for whatever reason. But I was in the woods like an hour ago maybe, and I was hiking on this trail this is where I'm at right now. It's the Ozark Mountains. And I was hiking, and I don't even know like where this trail goes. Like, I was supposed to be on this other trail and ended up not being here, but I saw this other Ozark trail, it was called, and I was like, okay, I guess this will work. And I don't know how far it is. I don't know if there's any peaks or anything. So I'm hiking, like looking for a peak, kind of like hoping there's a peak the whole time. And I don't think there ever was. I think this is the peak. This is like a half mile in, you know. It's like, and it's not even technically like a real peak, but it's cool. It's still really cool. I love it here. But yeah, I was probably a few more miles in, like 3 or 4 miles into the woods past this, and I was like, man, am I just gonna keep walking on this trail until like I get hit with like a the end sign? Like, I don't think there's an end to this trail. I think it just loops back around. And I was like having trouble coming to terms with that, because I was like, well, I've already hiked for this long. I should just finish it out, just because. Like, what if there is a peak and I'm about to end right before, and I'm gonna have wasted this whole trip? But then I did this little skit that it's probably already posted, to be honest, on TikTok or Instagram. And actually, I'll play it right now. Hey, you made it. Congratulations. Whoa, what? This is it. You're done. Who are you? Who do I look like? Me. Yep. I don't understand. Oh, this is the end. End of the line. What are you talking about? This whole simulation. It's time for you to wake up. Wake up. And the whole thing with that little skit that you just watched is that it's okay to not have everything figured out. What if your life ended today? If your life ended today and you got to watch back what happened, you'd realize how much everything like didn't matter. Because like now you're here. You're out here. Like, you died. You know, everything that happened in this life is irrelevant. It doesn't matter. You know, so in the grand scheme of things, in 100 years, when you're buried in the dirt, no one will remember you. And so everything you're going through right now doesn't fucking matter because it's just happening to you and the world will go on with or without you. And to zoom out and have that perspective in times of stress, times of self-doubt is really important, I think. And even for me, it's really, really hard. I didn't even think of that I thought of it after the skit, and it kind of gave me some peace of mind that I was going to be fine, and this is a big deal in my head right now, but it's just not a big deal. It's not. Like, I'm sitting here complaining about the fact that I don't feel content on top of a mountain in the beautiful Ozark Mountains in Missouri. Like, perspective, bro. I mean, there are people who are slaves right now. There are people who have no parents. There's people who are in orphanages wishing they could just have a family. Like, there's some fucked up life situations out there, and I am in such a privileged position to sit here and whine on camera on top of a mountain. Now, that being said, it doesn't mean my feelings are unwarranted and should be like looked past. They're still real. I still feel them, and I have every right to feel them. But that perspective is very important for me to remember when I'm going through something like this and thinking, sorry, there's a bug, and thinking that, this is the worst life ever. Like, this sucks. Like, this does not suck. Let's be honest. I'm fucking hiking in the mountains, not working. Like, how bad is that? Like, seriously? And I think it's just discontentment. It's one of those things that, you finally achieve something, and then you're always looking to that next thing and that next thing. And I don't think that's anything you can ever get to or achieve. It just happens, like, internally. You have to go internal for that. And I think that's one of those things that when I go to the BLM lands and I'm out there for days on end by myself with only my thoughts, I think that's where I'll have those conversations with myself and delve into the deep inner workings of my mind. And I'm excited for that because that's something that's really scary, honestly. And it's one of those things I just push past and say I'll do it later. But in reality, I'm just terrified of what will happen. If you ever sat with your thoughts for 4 hours straight and not done anything, and just, like, that's scary. It's kind of scary when you think about it. You'd rather just go on Twitter or TikTok or something and just distract yourself. But the truth is, after I feel like a few times of just going inside your mind and kind of figuring out what the fuck is going on up there and giving yourself kind of validation to feel the way you do, I think that's one of those things that you just do a few times in your lifetime, and it brings you like a lifetime of peace and tranquility. And I just don't know because I haven't done it. It's been scary. So I'm pledging myself right here, right now, that I will put myself through that, and I will just kind of be vulnerable with myself, truly vulnerable. And I may use psychedelics in that too, probably will. But I'm excited for that because right now I'm struggling mentally, and the support that I get from, like, friends and family is great, and it's nice to know. But as well as I know that there's only so much, like, other people's support can do for you. Like, it has to come from yourself. And yeah. Why are there so many bees around me? Now, not to just completely go fully off topic, completely in an opposite direction, I want to talk about crypto. And maybe that's another reason I'm actually kind of down on myself right now. If you are in crypto right now, it's a scary time to be alive because, one, this is my first big crypto crash. So this is the first time I'm experiencing this. I haven't sold anything. I've actually bought a decent bit, but I find myself very frustrated because I'm like, why didn't I see this coming, in the sense that I should have saved a bunch of money on the side for an opportunity like this to come about and to buy more? Because right now I'm kicking myself because I don't have enough money to buy more Cardano, more DOT, more whatever coin I want to buy that's, like, super down right now, like literally half price. The fact that this happened and I didn't have that much money on the side, like, waiting for an opportunity like this, it taught me a lot, because now I know that as the market goes back up, which I'm sure it will, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, it definitely will, but in the near future, when I think it'll recover pretty well. And so when it does, I'm going to take out all of my initial investment, my entire initial investment, probably, I don't know how much that would be, many thousands of dollars, take out all of it, keep that on the sides. And so only play with the profits. That way it really is only the profits. I'm also going to take out a decent amount for, like, chunk change for taxes at the end of the year, because I do not want to deal with that. But I want to pull this out because right now I have 75% of the money that I want to live on and use is in the stocks, and it's down, which means it technically doesn't exist right now because it's so low. And that's scary because like if it was to crash completely and the crypto market went into like hibernation for a year or whatever it would be, I'd be kind of fucked. I'd have to get a job soon-ish because that's like a lot of my money right there. So yeah, this crash just taught me a lot about how to be like a smarter investor. I'm already like have a good head, I think. Like I have a decent attitude toward it. I haven't sold any because I am very confident it'll come back. I didn't freak out. I was freaking out a little bit, but it was more because I was like, damn, I wish I had more money on the sidelines. Like I should have been pulling out profits as they came, even though they weren't as big as I wanted. I need a better exit strategy for opportunities like this when we have big dips. I mean, Polkadot is at $20 right now. Like, bruh, I bought that shit at like $37, $40, something like that. And like, bruh. And I did buy a decent bit in the dip, but it wasn't like a crazy, like I bought VeChain at like 10 cents, which was nice. And I bought some DOT, probably in the 20s. But the fact that it's still down there, I'm like, oh my God, I should have way more money on the sidelines for this. So if you're in there, if you're out there like in the crypto space and you sold all your whatever, your Bitcoin, your Dogecoin, you're a fucking idiot, to be honest. Crypto's coming back, just like stocks. It'll go up in the future. It's just dumb, you know, because like unless you pick the crap coin that doesn't have a future in the next 2-3 months, there's no reason to sell it. Like Cardano, even though it's low right now, lower than I bought it for a few months ago, or like a couple weeks ago, it's going to be higher in like 5 months to a year to 10 years. It's going to be way, way, way bigger. But if I picked a crappy coin, it probably wouldn't be. There wouldn't be as much confidence in it long term. So that would be something I'd probably sell if the market starts dipping, just in case it doesn't come back, because not all the cryptos will come back. Some will just tank and never return. That's what I kind of thought is going to happen with Dogecoin. I don't see Dogecoin ever hitting above 70 cents again. I think that hype kind of died. And so, I mean, it's whatever. Like I made like $15,000 off that. That's plenty more than I ever thought was going to happen when I bought. Like I literally bought Dogecoin, and after $200 I was ready to pull out. Like that's what I had no idea about crypto or anything back then. I wish I got into it last year because I could have popped in on some really, really good deals and just been like a year's worth better of a crypto trader. But I mean, it's whatever. It's one of those things that you start and you are always like, damn, I should have started earlier. And that's just with everything in life, you know? Yeah, so my advice to everyone is just hodl your money. Hopefully you pick good coins that are going to be around. You know, make sure you're always doing that. That way, when something like this happens, you know your investments are secure in the sense that they're not going to just die when the bear market comes. I mean, the bear market will come at some point. There will be a dip, just like there was the other day. And that's okay if you have a good coin because they'll recover. So just when those times happen, you just buy more. And you take those deals. You're basically shopping on clearance for no extra fees or anything. It's dope. Another reason I love the cryptoverse is because like it's just so fun. Like it's so entertaining in the sense that it's so volatile that every day you wake up, you're like, all right, what the fuck just happened today? Like what's gonna happen? You know, VeChain drops 75% in one day, or like, you know, Cardano's VP comes out and like says some shit on Twitter, and now Elon Musk is battling or whatever it is. Like it's just crazy stuff, and it's so fun to like be part of it. So if you're not part of the cryptoverse, maybe you're only into stocks, maybe you're not in any of it, I say go crypto, at least for some of your portfolio. I went all in on crypto. I have like 4 stocks right now, like literally 4 stocks, and I'm pulling them out in the next year and I'm going full crypto. I mean, let's be honest, everything's going digital. I love how I say that on top of a mountain in the most like natural landscape ever, but everything's going digital, and that's just a fact. And you might as well just accept it because it's just true. And so it makes sense that our currency would go digital, you know, and it makes sense our currency would go international in the sense that I don't need to change my $700 USD for the Japanese yen, you know. I can just pay in Bitcoin. And that's cool because at first when I was in the very beginnings of understanding crypto, I just thought of it as like, oh, it's this thing you invest in that makes you money. A lot of money real quick. But now I understand, like, I've actually studied it and researched a good bit for the past like 6 months now, or 4 or 5 months, and I understand like its actual how it will be used and why it actually is so effective and why it's so incredible and the benefits of blockchain and all that stuff. And it's cool. It's super cool to be part of, and I believe in it. And we're at the beginning. If you're in crypto right now, you are at the beginning, like really at the beginning right now, and that's dope because I would say 95% of people don't really understand crypto at all. 90 to 95%, meaning you are very much so in an advantage point, because this money that is being made right now, this ridiculous volatility, will not last forever. Because as soon as it becomes normal and everyone has it, the spikes go from this to like this. And this is fine, but you're just not, you can't just flip coins, month to month and make a bunch of profit, which, up into this like small little dip / bear market thing, it's basically what I've been doing. I'm basically just buying and making money off of like everything. And a lot of stuff's been going sideways, but like for the most part, my money's gone up. It's cool because it feels like you're taking your life in your hands and you're like taking control of your destiny and stuff with your own money. Like, this is me. I'm investing in this. And so it's cool. If you can understand crypto, I would definitely recommend watching some like deep intense videos as far as like information and stuff, and just understand blockchain, understand what the cryptocurrencies are doing, because you're going to be miles and miles and miles ahead of other people. And I'm 22, 23. I have absolutely no doubt in my mind by the time I push 40 as like I think I'll be retired by 30 as far as needing money. I think I'm going to be retired in the sense that I will not need to work for money, trading my time for money after 30. That's not even my goal. I don't care if I do or not. That's just what I think, because I'm 22, 23, and my net worth is way more than I thought it would ever be. And it's only going up because I'm getting smarter and I'm getting better with money. And, right now I'm not spending really anything. So it's cool. It's really cool. And I'm excited for my future. And another thing, I'm going to close out on this because it's hot and my cameras are probably going to overheat. But the amount of time I've been alone in this car this past week or so, it's baffling to me how many cycles of thought that I've gone through. I've probably gone through over 1 million thoughts in a week, just from the highest of highs to the lowest of lows. And it's unbelievable how deep and how the depths of our mind, and I can never hope to understand it, I don't think. And if you're trying to understand it, I don't think we're supposed to. I don't think we ever will. I think you can just try and appreciate the fact that you're trying, because our mind is so complex. It's not meant to be understood. I think it's just meant to use and to live and to experience. That was actually pretty dope. I don't know where that came from. Lastly, this is the last bit. I kind of got away from this last decent bit of podcast, but because it feels a little ingenuine in the fact that I don't feel like I'm coming from a place that I can help anyone, but this is, I guess, for me and you if you need it. You are okay. Nothing in your life will ever be smooth sailing. There will always be bumps in the road that cause you to doubt yourself. And it's okay, because that is what life is. It's just about shit happening to you and you dealing with it, and then you doing stuff, and then shit happens, then you deal with it, and then you do stuff, and it just that's what it is. And there's no place you're supposed to be right now. There's no perfect job you're supposed to be in right now. There's no amount of money you're supposed to have right now. There's no blueprint to how you're supposed to live this life. You live it how you want, and it's hard to do what you want right now. I know it's just hard in general. Just doesn't matter how old you are or where you're at in life. It's just hard. And don't beat yourself up about it, because, at least you're here. That's dope. There's a lot of people who aren't here right now. Someone dies every second on this earth, and for this second, it wasn't you. So, you really only live once. I don't really have anything else. That's pretty much it, actually. Yeah. I'll see you soon. Peace.